We're going to start trimming this model of the Bichon dog now. The shape of the dog. What about when trimming? We're going to start off on the underfoot pedestal. Then I'll stand in the back and comb its hair out first. Half of the good hock position. Find a central surface of it first. Okay, after cutting this in front of it, this face on the front of the hind foot, to see where his toes are, all the hair on the front is cut off, from his knees to the front of his toes. A face that is slanted 45 degrees. Open the side again. By this means, cut all the inner surface clean for it. Okay, finish cutting this piece. Let's go to the back and cut it again. The position of the hock. Here are the knees. Then we will comb out the hair of the hock. This is a thickness. That is after we have done this. The hairs on our hocks don't sink. Therefore, this place is of great significance. The same way to do the inside. Press down the scissors lightly to do it. His is this one under the leg. First put the front center surface. Do it, then wrap the circle to the inside. Then the center surface of the outside. Because this is important. When we cut this, we must let the dogs, this is the foot, cut it enough with the hair in front. Otherwise, it will tilt up. Lift up like a person's shoes. So the scissors are tilted in. Another biggest feature of Bichon is that it has a power, except that the whole body is very strong and sturdy. At its feet, be sure to buckle it inside. That was why he had that sense of power. The base of the four corners after the feet are done. Let's do this on him again. Then compare the front and rear of the bear. The front, back, and left are the same. It's not like VIPs. It's about 30 degrees in front of me. It's 45 degrees behind. Our ram shape is like this. Then our Bichons are the same before and after, okay? I'm going to take a little bit of hair off the tail because we must form a good habit. That is, we can't let it go with both hands to trim. So we must hold its tail with our hands. So if we don't have a tail installed yet, I'll just make a fake tail here. Okay, the front part of the tail, it's a 90-degree angle to the tail. So the piece of the tail, that hair has to be 90 degrees. So after ordering, the tail is down with the tip of the scissors pointing towards the neck. Cut a flat surface. Okay, after cutting this, I'll come to the side because I want to strengthen the effect of my plane from this angle. It should be the same as my desktop, a very flat horizontal line. That's his neck. Maybe we'll move his neck for a while and leave it here for now. Okay, after the back is done, we began to do his 30 degrees of an incline of its rear drive. From the inside out. Cut a bevel and do both sides together. after he achieved this level. I'm going to determine the position of the tip of his because he is stronger than the bear. It's not like a poodle. So where is the tip of my It must be slightly lower than usual. Put the usual ischium tip here. I can be in this position because I want him to be 30 degrees longer. To this extent, be sure to take a look from the back first, because our point must come to this position in our heart. Then this piece of hair is cut shorter, so I'm going to use my hands to feel how much hair is left so I can cut it, okay? What about after cutting here? 45-degree angle from knee fossa to flying knot. This is the same as our lamo shape. The same way, next door, do it together. The position of the knee socket is set. We are flying. The 45-degree angle of the node. Then be sure to come from the side here. Have a look. Okay, at this point, we're going to do the outside of his thigh again. Okay, we're going to press the part from the neck to our waist with our hands. Press down A/ with your hand from here on out, because Bichon can't make it particularly slim. Therefore, when cutting this line, be sure to not too much, cut less. Okay, I'll do his when I'm done. The position of the hypoventral line. Okay, back there, I'm going to cut this oblique line on the outside of his thigh. Then because we are stronger than bears, so I couldn't cut too far. Be sure to come out a little bit. Okay, let's stand back and straighten the outer thighs. Make it then the angular surface from this corner to this corner, including the round surface below. Do away with all this angular surface together. Then tilt towards the waist. Then this time do his lower abdominal line. It really doesn't work. We can make a mark with our hands, a light hand. Press the hair over with your hands. And then what about the middle? Then our Bichon ratio is different from that of a poodle. The VIP is that its body length is the same as its height. Then our Bichon bear is 1/4 longer than its body height. So there's no need to make it very compact. So we can come back a little bit. After the approximate shape comes out, it starts to wrap the circle. Because Bichon is, its whole body is round, there can be no sharp lines. So we're going to take all the edges and corners, wrap it all around. Well, then the inside of the leg is horizontal to it. A small A. This is a round surface that slopes inward. Okay, it has this bevel on both sides. Because this one is also, so it has to have this ramp. Okay, so the approximate shape is out. So now let's start to refine the shape of the back area. Okay, so now we're done with this part of the whole hind leg. After cutting, I'm going to cut her front zone on both sides, shoulder width and her chest now. I want to give her a straight line. It's a vertical line from our tabletop. Then this piece is round noodles. The round surface in front can be made off a little bit together. I see it from the front. The leg must be very, very straight. Well, then what? Drive from the front to the straight. In the future, I will come here. I will do the same as him here. Well, after this outer side on both sides is settled, I'm going to cut it out with the position of its chest. What about its breasts? From the side, it's a straight line, but from the front, it looks round. So now that I've found the bump in its chest, the center surface in the middle, after cutting this center surface, the round surface here, okay, including the round noodles here, do it together. And then from the tip of the sternum, it starts to tilt inward diagonally. Okay, then what? Now it's the front of the elbow. So let's start here. It is the center surface in the middle of the front side of the front leg, cut all the way to his toes. The round surface inside. And the outer round surface. Then from the side, a bevel round to the front. Okay, so now the shoulder width circumference here is made. We follow this shape from the tip of this sternum. It's mine from the side. Just put the widest part of the whole body here. And then from above, it was his neck, scissors tilted up. Make this slope first. This is straight. This is diagonal. Okay, this is the slant of the neck to his waist. This is his shoulder width piece. Then this section belongs to his middle because of beat. Don't lean in too much. Otherwise, thin waist is not a characteristic of Bichon. So now the outline here is done. It's a very obvious slash. It's a straight line. You can see it clearly from my side. And then here, it's the same. That's where our waist is, and it's elbow joint. I'm going to do a tilt surface because the Bichon is different from the VIP, so we can't go too steep. Unless the dog's legs are particularly short, I might steepen the line a bit. Then under normal circumstances, I will make it slightly flat, a slope of about 15 to 30 degrees. Because our Bichon dog has a long body. So there's no need to put it up front. So it's, this position on the front of the hind leg. The position of the waist, I can lean back a little bit here at this point. Then the front of the front leg, that is my knee socket to hock. The thickness of the knee to the toe is the same as the thickness of the front of my front leg. Then our Bichon dog is 1/4 longer than its height. So our waist point, set it not too far ahead. You don't have to make it too compact. Then this thickness of the hind leg is fixed. Then my hind leg's a knee socket to hock. The knee is in front of the toes. That is, the front side of my front leg is the same width. Then I will make some here. Just this one on the low abdominal line, because he belongs to the middle from the top line to here. What about in the middle? He must be going round. So where does it start? It's in my lower abdomen. You are 1/3 of my stomach. I'm going to circle him inside. After that, my stomach is more three-dimensional. This upper must be done with this. Well, it's the center face of the middle. After the center surface is over, there is the dome down there. If this bear didn't do that, as far as his three-dimensional sense is concerned, it cannot be done. So be sure to lean diagonally over this place. When you're done, do the back of his front legs. Straight line, also on the inside. Outside to... Okay, be sure to take it when you get to the bottom, because this is very important. Because Bichon must demonstrate a sense of power. Okay, so after the shape in front of me is almost ready, just start doing the front of the hind legs. And this is from the front of his toes to his knee. 2 lines from the knee to the waist. Okay, when you're done with it, this point, after reaching this position, I would stand in front of him and make the first 2 sides Okay, so here's the point. At his waist, okay, after you've done this, well, this center surface on the inside goes to including the envelope. Okay, when you're done, wrap the one from the outside to the front of the circle. Edges and corners. Now that the hair on his whole body has been almost trimmed, so we're going to fix a beauty on its head. Now, first of all, we have to give it the fur on its eyes. It is to cut off the hair on the inner corner of the eye. First, find the position of the two eyeballs, then a demarcation comb, or use our scissors can open this up, okay? So now it's the inner corner of the eye to the inner corner of the eye. We trim, open this piece, and then for the bottom eye, we're going to cut it like this from the bottom up. It is also a shape of this small triangle. Cut it clean, cut it out, because this position of our Bichon dog can also be shaved. Then this piece is also the inner corner of the eye to the outer corner of the eye. And then the bottom is also tilted with scissors. We're going to bring out all the bright eyes for it. Can't have any hair for it. Block its eyes. Then I'm going to the inner corner of the eye, now, including the following one. This area we will cut very, very short. This place can be processed in advance before shearing. And then the fur of the Bichon dog is combed in two directions like this. So we also comb it to the sides according to that shape. Comb both sides and take a look. Then the hair on its inside hasn't been combed yet. It wasn't cut properly. So it will tilt up, will run out of eyes. So after we've combed both sides, cut the inside to his front row should be flat. There should be more behind this. So we're going to cut it off at the back, flowing to both sides. If you make this little triangle, your eyes will be clean. Do it the same way here. The hair on the eye. Also cut the hair on the front of it clean. Then by Bichon, it's a very profound expression. Then this hair on its forehead can't be cut short like Muncie. Where is the most convex part of its forehead? It's halfway from the forehead to the tip of the nose. So let's put the most convex part right here on the forehead. The length of the hair in this place is halfway from the tip of the forehead to the tip of the nose, because it wants to give us a very profound effect. So we're going to settle on the most convex side first. The hair in this place can be cut too short yet. After that, the scissors tilt inside a 45-degree angle from the inner corner of the eye to the inner corner of the eye. Cut it in. Because it is a circle, then I might end up on the center side later. Inner corner of the eye to outer corner of the eye. The angle of my scissors may be tilted out like this, diagonally. After cutting it like this, it's round. Same thing going the other way. Then he is now three-faced. One side, two sides, three faces, a pack of edges and corners generated between that side and the face. Then he is round. It was made on the forehead. Then don't cut all the hair on the eyes when cutting, because we are models after all. It's that if you make it feel more realistic. As for the upper eyelid hair, we can keep it a little bit. You can cut a little more hair on the lower eyelid. Okay, his eyes are very bright after wrapping the circle. When it lights up, we're done with the eyes. So let's start with his second circle first. For the second circle, I may change this model slightly. Then I'm going to ask him to keep this upper lip hair for him. I'll cut this piece short. In this case, it's with us. It's a real bitch, is very similar. And it goes up like this. Cut it short on both sides of the nose, but you must be careful not to cut too much. After cutting too much, it will become transparent. Put the hair inside. It's the lip line that shows up. We give it first. It's just a little bit lower than the first row. because the Bichon dog is round. Outside the corner of the eye is our round one, the most convex, the highest and shortest place above the head. Is it a circle like this? And what about its proportions? The corners of the eyes are round, the most convex words. It's also 6'2", 4. We're a little bit more above than below. So after we cut the facial features, and we started to see how much I had to cut this position of his jaw, then this place is just a little shorter than his piece. You can't cut it too short because it's too short. He's got that thick face that I couldn't have done. So this is a plane of his jaw, to me, is the shortest part of the neck. Yes? And then here is the one that was separated from the bear. It is this dividing line between the face and the neck. And then when you're done, you cut it underneath. After that, the position of my chin, the lowest level of the face is set like this. After cutting the noodles below, let's start with this position behind its ears. Then this is a very important point for beat. Then our hair, I can put a little more hair in this place. Then put it down. I'm going to make a thickness behind the ear. These mouse words are not dialed up like this. Be sure to pull it down a little bit. In this way, it will come out with a very thick effect later. It's the ear, the one behind the flower. This is a face. So this place above his head, yeah. The highest is also in this position, and the lowest is also down. So I need to repair less here. Then slowly round it. I can repair the neck part here in this way, although I came round like this. But the lower hair is only rounded by the position under the abdominal root of the ear, okay? I'll do it the same way when I'm done here. On that side. That's also a bevel behind the ear. Finish this face with his neck and this face of his. Give it a clear demarcation line. So from here, it's his neck. This is his face going down like this. And when you're done, you walk down like this, then this is his lowest place. We're going to start here. So the one on his face and neck has been separated. Neck, his neck still has to be, even though he had a thick neck in comparison to Bill, but he must have had a neck. This neck looks good if it's longer. So now separate him. The face and face are particularly noticeable when viewed from the back. Okay, so I'm going to start now to do his second. This circle, the first circle is his head circle. The second circle, this mouth, this one is round. This one is combed down because the hair here grows in this direction. This is for the foreign minister. It goes up like this. This is also going down and out. Then when I do this action, people must stand up from this direction. The scissors cannot be tilted inside. You can't go out either. So that's avoiding the first one and the third one down here. The circle is flat from the inner corner of the eye to the outer corner of the eye. It starts around the outer corner of the eye, round to the outside corner of the eye. I cut it to a 90-degree angle. One more time. Out of the corner of the eye. Then after this reaches the corner of the eye, the fluff on the chin also came in this way. Stop out of the corner of your eye. So this is the corner of my mouth that I just cut, the inner corner of the outer corner of the eye. Then 90 degrees at the outer corner of the eye. And it's the same underneath. You go to the outer corner of the eye and you start to turn. Cut to this position of 90 degrees on our side. Then when I'm done, I'm going to wrap the circle from the outside in. Okay, now this ratio of mine from the corner of the eye. My head is more than his. So I'm going to set at the top of my head again, where you can't see it. Don't go so round behind it. I'm going to cut a flat surface right there because the position of its occipital bone is. I'm going to trim the side later. this is where it's positioned in front of it. That's the highest place on his head. And here's the 90-degree cut from this side to this side. I'll make another 45-degree cut. Okay, in this way, my side is basically round. Then I will tilt this again according to the shape of my side. It's 45 degrees. Okay, you can use our curved shears from 90 degrees to 45 degrees to the top of the head. So 90 degrees in front of this. Let's do this action of wrapping the circle again. Then see if it is round from a distance. Like this place is a little bit drawn. Cut the whole place down. Then we go to refine it after it is rounded. Okay, finally, we're going to repair this occipital bone of his to this neck position in the back. Okay, so a lot of times when people trim this, it's too hairy. It's kind of like a poodle. Puppy shape, the same. The bear still has its own thickness. And then it's right in the middle. We're going to make a 45-degree angle here because this position must be oblique. And when it's over from its end bone to half of the elbow joint, I'm going to land it here. That's it. Models like this have more hair, so we can make it 90 degrees biased one by one. For real dogs. The hair trimming is very important in this area because I'm going to make it out of a thick neck. Then I have to keep this hair from falling down. The one on both sides, thickness is very important. If the thickness on both sides is not enough, it collapses easily. Attached to the back, then flat. Then it is connected to the side of his back. This piece is also integrated into his back. So our Bichon has been trimmed. The suckled point is very clear. Then the characteristics of the bear are revealed. That's one of the reasons we cut this model. And then finally, and let's not forget one of its tails. And the tail is also after we stick it on here. And the way it's embroidered, we put our tail at the root of this. And then you pull them around like this. Pull into such a shape. If the tail is hairy, we can also cut this side out a little bit. And then the tail root of the Bichon dog can't go too close to its back, so it must have a height of this piece. So what I did was I took this piece and I used my hands a little bit and I raised it, then come down again. And if it's okay, we can also pointy our tails. You can make it feel like a tassel a little bit. Pointed. Then our bear is completed.